Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. Now this has SPF 15 and retails for about £23.50 per fluid ounce, which is standard. And to be honest, I'm actually really pleased looking at the shade range. So it's really almost unclear how many true foundation-y shades there are, because the shades are named quite oddly on the website. So you have your normal ones for MAC like NC10, NW10, NC15, all of that. And then you have these like C4, C4.5s, all of this, which I'm assuming is probably some kind of like strobing thing. It could be like a shade adjuster. I'm not 100% sure, but including all the what I assume are shade adjusters, there's about 50 shades available on the website, which is massive. I of course have the palest shade of the foundation in a little bit more of a yellowy neutral undertone, which is NC10. I'm going to insert some swatches of this foundation in comparison to some of the others in my collection. So this is the MAC Studio Fix Foundation in NC10. This is the MAC Studio Sculpt Foundation in NC15. This is the CYO Long Lasting Life Proof Foundation in 101. This is the Maybelline Superstay Foundation in 05 Light Beige. So next we're going to have a look at the claims. So it's supposed to be a modern foundation that combines a natural matte finish and a medium to full buildable coverage with broad spectrum, SPF 15, blah blah blah. Applies and blends easily and evenly, long wearing, although it says down below 8 hours, which to me isn't that long wearing. It's oil free, comfortable all day round, looks flawless for all skin types, all of that. So I believe that this is supposed to be like one that you'll wear like if you're going to the office, that kind of thing, if you want like full coverage, because 8 hours to me isn't that long wearing. Like, I work a 12-hour day, that's not that long wearing to me. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear this throughout the day and give you guys an update as I go on to see how this wears, if this breaks down on the skin, that kind of thing. So if you'd like to see how it wears throughout the day on my dry skin, then please keep watching. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel before you leave. And so I opened up this foundation and this one actually looks pale enough. So like I mentioned before, I have NC10, and I know with the other MAC foundation I have NC15, and that is a bit too dark, but I absolutely love that MAC foundation. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be either better or at least the same. It has a weird smell actually to it. Like, really weird. Not a great smell. Not a great smell at all. So on one side, as usual, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and on the other my Real Technique sponge. So I haven't actually read up online about this foundation. I made the decision a short while back to stop looking so that I get a completely like unbiased kind of view of it. But yeah, I made a decision a short while back to stop looking at the description of the foundation online. I don't want a biased view of it, and this way I kind of see how it really does sit on the skin rather than how I think it should sit on the skin, if you know what I'm saying. The shade looks actually pretty good, and the foundation is not sitting badly on the skin at all. I would say I've got it at like medium coverage with the brush, but I honestly feel like I can see a lot of my pores around here, and my other hand noticed that a bit more with the other MAC foundation I wore. I don't know, there's just something about it that I'm not sure that I love just yet. So I'm going to just blend it out on the forehead. So actually the foundation is looking okay on this skin. I would say it's a semi-matte finish, and it does match actually, so it goes light enough, which is like a rarity. As long as this doesn't oxidize further, I'm really happy with the shade. So yeah, this is a nice like high medium coverage. I can still see a bit of spots coming through, but most of my redness and flaws are covered. It does look pretty nice actually, and it's sitting quite well so far. I don't know, there's just something that I'm not as keen on in comparison to say my absolute like favourite foundation, the Maybelline Superstay. The more I'm looking at it, the more like it appears almost a touch more satin, but then it's gone on top of like all my moisturising products. But otherwise it actually does look quite good. The shade is right, and it is sitting fairly nice on the skin. I have a feeling with this one it's going to work so much better with a sponge. I have been liking to apply my foundation with the sponge really recently. I just feel like it just makes everything look so much more natural, and I'm getting this same kind of impression with this. I feel like it is so much smoother on this side, like it's just blending a lot more seamlessly into the skin. I definitely feel more makeup-y on this side. I mean, the coverage isn't the same. Let's get this straight, the coverage isn't the same. This has soaked up loads of product, I feel. Like, I'd say this is like a low medium coverage, but it just does look so much more skin-like that way. And I would definitely say this looks really skin-like on this side. This is quite natural looking makeup. I definitely like it more with the sponge. I think it just sits far better on the skin. However, what I'm going to do, I think, is smooth the other side out with the sponge. Now that I've smoothed the other side out with the sponge, I would say it looks nearly as good as the other side. I'd still say it looks a touch more makeup-y, but I believe that's due to more product. So what I'm going to do to kind of like test that theory out is build up a bit more on the cheek and on the forehead where I don't feel like I've got quite enough coverage, and see how buildable this foundation is. So actually, this is building quite well. You can definitely see the redness that was there before is gone, and it's just kind of melting together. It's not looking cakey, nothing's going really wrong with it. It's building really well everywhere, to be honest, and it's blending really seamlessly into the skin, and the shade is right. And I feel like that's fairly important for me, especially at this stage where I know I'm going out in foundations darker than I should, simply because the formula's right. The more I built it, actually, the more it's sitting on my skin, it's looking less natural. However, I still think it looks pretty. So I'd probably go in with the brush to begin with to build that coverage up, and then smooth it out a little bit with the sponge. Otherwise, I think it looks so nice, even though you do have to kind of work with it a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off camera and put the rest of my makeup on, and then I'll be right back. But honestly, I think the foundation, at least like here, is looking really nice. On my forehead, it's looking a little bit like settling into the lines kind of situation. But otherwise, on my face, it's looking really nice. I do feel like it looks a little bit like textured. I feel like I need like a really good pore filling primer here. So I think that's the kind of thing that if I decided this is going to be my everyday, that I'd have to look into. However, otherwise it looks really nice. I did have to set my face to blend powder products on top. When I did, it worked really well. Everything's looking really good so far. I'm really happy with it. And I haven't had to like blend for yards down my neck as well, which I'm really pleased about. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm just hoping it holds up well throughout the rest of the day. So on the rest of my face, I used the Collection Lasting Perfection in the new shade, which is Zero Extra Fair. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in Translucent, I believe it is. But it's basically white, and it does help lighten my foundation up a little bit. However, this isn't going to be good for flash photography. For my blush, I use my L'Oreal Life's a Peach blush. And for my bronzer, I use my L'Oreal Back to Bronze, which is fairly new for me. And actually, I'm really liking it. I'm using it more in the summer in place of contour, because I'm just not feeling contour as much at the moment. For highlight, I use my Revolution Skin Kiss highlighter in Ice Kiss. For my eyebrows, I initially filled it in with the Revolution Redemption palette, like I normally do. And then set them in place with the L'Oreal Brow Plumper that I tested out more recently in my Get Ready With Me, which I will link down below. For eyeshadow, I use the Morphe 15N Night Master palette. For mascara, I use the L'Oreal Miss Baby Roll mascara. To set my face, I use MAC Fix Plus. And then my lips, I use the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in Seductress. So the next thing you'll see is a check-in in a few hours just to see how this is wearing. Hi guys, it's about 7 o'clock, which means I've had this foundation on for about 10 hours now. 8 hours. Well done. So I've had the foundation on for about 8 hours now, and it's wearing pretty well actually. Like, most of the foundation still looks like exactly the same. You can see where I've had my glasses on, but you can with like every foundation. The only kind of little bits I'm noticing are that it's fading a bit on my forehead where like my hairline is. It's fading around here. You can definitely see the coverage has kind of weakened almost on my forehead, and it's separating a bit on my upper lip and chin. And it's not like I've had any like greasy food on there or anything like that. It has just started to separate a little bit. But otherwise, it does look really good. My products have held really well. It did kind of look very similar at the 4-hour point. I didn't get a chance to do a 4-hour check-in, but it did look very similar to the way it does now. But it has held pretty well, and I think that it is definitely worth giving a go. So if you have liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, then please press that subscribe button before you leave, and if you press that notification bell down at the bottom, you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Thank you for watching.